In the wild, mysterious depths of Brittany, France, sits an old abandoned shack. Surrounded by ancient oaks and home to all manner of forest dwellers, it is here that we meet to share our stories. So pull up a seat, swing that light, grab your favourite beverage as we share another tantalising tale in the freaking shack.
Hello and welcome to the shack, she says calmly again.
Hello, hello. I'm so sorry, but I have been overcome by cake. I made cake. It's very nice.
Nice. Is it death cake?
It's cake or death. God.
We have the title for this week's episode already. Cake or death.
Absolutely. Tea and cake and death. Tea and cake or death. What's that from? It's a sketch from a comedian. It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
You have to show people the cake. Those of you that are not on video will miss jam and cream and a vanilla sponge.
It is jam, 4-fruit jam, and it's actually a buttercream.
Nice.
If you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, and fall back in it. I dropped my fork. It's fine. The cake is fine. It's just the fork.
She has shown the
fork off.
She has shown the cake to prove that it is okay.
The cake is fine.
She saved
tea is fine. Cake is fine. Fork is on the side. It's fine.
My coffee is fine because I have Baileys in it.
Even better.
I normally only have that at Christmas, but I got a little tiny bit left, so it just fell into the cup.
It's a great way to use up that little drop of leftover Baileys. Straight in your coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because of the theme that we have this week.
Absolutely.
Can you make more noise?
Sorry. I am looking up the quote, cake or death, because so many people have obviously searched this because it comes up immediately. Eddie Izzard. It was an Eddie Izzard sketch. You, cake or death?
Cake every time.
Cake, please. I can't help it. It's just very funny. I'm sorry. So, yes, it was an Eddie Izzard sketch, and he, talked about offering people cake or death. And that is what we're doing today. I have cake.
It is.
And we are talking about death. Not being too morbid with it, though.
No, hopefully not.
The personifications of death.
Yes. And how it links with our ghost stories theme this season. I don't know what other themes we're going to have. We've got a whole load of them, but I'm going to keep them secret. You can carry on eating your cake.
I will. I'll just mute my mic so I'm not like, you know.
Is that when you get fed up? I'm just fed up. I shall go and eat cake.
Yeah, go and eat cake. That's great. It's like when they say touch grass, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when you've been online too long and you're starting to get weird ideas. Yeah, touch grass. In this case, eat cake.
Eat cake. Does the same thing. It grounds you.
It does. It does indeed.
Or sends you off on a sugar high.
Yeah.
One of the two. I have here a little introduction that says death, friend, foe, or ferryman. Swing that light. Where is it? Oh, it's here. You can only just see it now. I am swinging the light. Tonight we're stepping into territory that sits behind every ghost story ever told. Before there were spirits rattling chains, before there were haunted houses and whispering corridors, there was something far more fundamental. You just keep eating cake. There was death. It's not even death by chocolate, is it? Because there's no chocolate involved.
No chocolate in that one. But I tell you what, that was the biggest bite I think I've ever taken. I wasn't sure. I had to come up for air there.
Cool. In modern films and television, death is often portrayed as something malevolent, a force that hunts, that plots, that refuses to be cheated, a calculating presence that seeks balance through destruction. The Final Destination series is a perfect example of this version of death, almost vindictive when denied. But historically, culturally, death has worn many faces, and not all of them are cruel.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you.
Go.
Why do we give death a face?
Death is universal. Every culture, every civilization, every human being encounters it. And yet we almost never leave it as an abstract event because we do give it a shape. We give it personality and we give it intention. Sometimes it is a destroyer. Sometimes it is a guide. And sometimes it is a protector. Sometimes it is simply inevitable. What does it say about us that we feel the need to personify the end of life?
We do.
We do.
I'm reading Terry Pratchett at the moment. And Terry Pratchett's version of death, I find hysterical. I absolutely love it. And just for the record, the guy who reads the audiobook does it beautifully. Because he gives it this really sort of slow, drawling voice that's really quite ominous, but not at all.
So if we travel back to ancient Egypt, we find not one god of death, but many. Perhaps the most recognisable today is Anubis.
Anubis,
the jackal-headed deity, often portrayed in modern media as dark or sinister. In reality, Anubis was a guardian. He protected graves. He oversaw embalming, and he guided souls into the afterlife. He wasn't there to harm the dead, but to ensure their safe passage. For those whose hearts were heavy with wrongdoing, there was Amit, the devourer. If your heart failed the weighing ceremony, she would consume your soul. Not torture, not punishment, simply annihilation. The dementors, isn't it?
Yeah, like worse than death. Yeah.
Yeah, they take your soul, so you become a shell.
Mm.
In this culture, death was part of a process, structured, ritualised, almost administrative. It wasn't chaos, it was transition. We move on now to Greece and the guide of souls. The Greeks developed a fascinating idea. I don't even know if I can say this. The
Psychopomp.
Is it just psychopomp? Psychopomp, literally guide of souls. I think it's a lovely word. The psychopomp. One of the earliest was Hermes, who escorted the newly deceased to the river Styx. From there, they were handed to Charon, the ferryman of the underworld. Is it Sharon or Charon?
No, I'm not sure, but it could be Sharon. Sharon as the ferryman is quite funny.
Sharon the ferryman. Death here was a journey. And then we here's the words. And then we meet
Thanatos.
Thanatos, I would have got that right. Often described as the personification of peaceful death. My grandma had a peaceful death. He was not war, not plague, not slaughter. He represented the quiet end.
One that I think we all hope for, really.
It is, yes. But even within Greek mythology, death was not singular. There were darker forces tied to violent ends. There were embodiments of suffering, doom and retribution, as you find in most of life.
Quite.
Already we see something important, that death is rarely one thing. It is as complex as life itself. I think that's it. Everybody's got their own little story of, like, a loved one or someone they know that died in so many different ways. I find that with, like, my cancer story, and other people go, oh yeah, I had breast cancer as well, but totally different story.
Absolutely, yeah. It's that thing of the fact that every experience is inherently unique to the person that experienced it. So you had an experience of something.
Yeah.
Somebody else had the experience of the same thing, but it affected them in different ways. It caused different complications.
The treatment was different.
The treatment was
diagnosis.
different.
Yeah, it's cancer, but all these cancers are so different and react differently to what's going on in your body. So every death is different. We're on to Rome now. The Romans continued this multiplicity. Mors, M-O-R-S, was their equivalent to Thanatos, pale death, as described by Horace, who visited kings and paupers alike. There's lots of more words now. There was Libitina, associated with funerals and burials. There were the die inferi. And now we do.
I think it's
D.
It's D-I, I think, or D-I, I think.
It's spelled D-double-I.
Yeah.
So you think it's D-I?
It's either D-I or die, or it's the two different ways that we say I.
Yeah.
Or E,
or E
in French.
Yeah.
And we put the two together. So it's D-I, I think, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, we could just say die.
Well, I mean, it would be it would fit, wouldn't it?
It would. If anyone knows the proper thing, you can let us know. But I do love that, because it does completely take me to Harry Potter. The D or die or di inferi, because they had inferi in the, because obviously J.K. Rowling took loads from real history.
Yes.
So they were the gods below. Even sacrifice differed depending on whether offerings were made to the gods above or the gods beneath. The living shared meals with the upper gods. The infernal gods received offerings burnt entirely to ash. The living did not dine with the dead. Death was separation.
Right. Okay. So we call them the dei inferi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gods below. The dei superi are the gods above. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. And it's worth noting as well that the offerings that were made to the gods above went on an altar, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or what did they call it? Altria, which is essentially an altar. And the gods below, those were offerings that were made, which were specifically animals that were not considered edible by people. Okay. So they were given and offered in pits in the ground to offer it to the gods below.
To the gods below.
Unfortunately, so when we were looking at the gods above, they got the things that we could eat with them. So cattle, sheep, things like that were offered, and we ate alongside the gods above. And then when they gave offerings to the gods below, unfortunately, it was things such as, and brace yourself, people, horses and puppies. Yeah, were the offerings to the gods below. Not nice. But obviously the people didn't eat them. These offerings were then burned, like you said, to ash.
Yeah. Okay.
Offerings to gods can be weird, folks.
Yeah. Let's move on. I mean, God's supposed to put them there in the first place. So what we're offering them back to him for, I don't know.
It's best not to ask, I think.
Yeah, right. Okay. It says here, death was separation, a boundary, a line not to be crossed casually. Yeah. And neither is talking about offerings, I think.
Yeah, no. Don't cross that line casually. No.
No. In Brittany, we had the Ankou. Closer to home for us here in Brittany, we find Ankou. The Ankou is said to be the last person to die in a parish each year. That spirit then becomes death's representative for the following year. Each community has its own. There must be thousands of Ankous running around. The Ankou is described as tall, gaunt, wearing a wide hat. Now, it says here he, but it could be a she.
It could be, and I do think the Ankou from the previous year kind of hangs the hat for the next one. I don't think they stay.
No, they don't. No, it is passed on.
Yeah. It'd be something like some kind of Woodstock concert.
Yeah, as one leaves the stage, the other one comes on. He drives a cart piled with the dead. The axle squeaks. If it stops outside your door, your time, or somebody in your house, their time has come. And yet, he or she is not always malicious. He is a collector, a guardian of graves, a necessary presence. Death here is local, familiar. It's almost civic, with lots of paperwork. As always in France.
Everything in triplicate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the Middle Ages, enter the skeleton. By the 13th century in Europe, we began to see a shift. There was war, famine, plague. Death became skeletal. The imagery of memento mori, remember you must die, becomes widespread. Skeletons dance, they play instruments, they drag the living into graves, and the scythe appears. Grain was life, harvesting was survival, so death becomes the harvester of souls. And it's during this era that the image we now call the Grim Reaper solidifies. Death becomes visual shorthand for catastrophe. When societies are traumatised, their deaths grow sharper.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing when we see images now of death. It is very much that kind of persona, isn't it? With the cloak and the scythe and the hood and the skeleton face. We talked last week a little bit about Charles Dickens.
Yes.
And the three ghosts. And his Christmas future, was it? No. Because I thought, oh God, I can't remember now. Which one was it that was?
No, you had Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future.
Christmas future.
Yeah. And that
And Christmas Future was the one who looked like death.
Yes.
And showed him his gravestone, wasn't it? Was that the right one?
I think
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's that kind of image, isn't it, that we associate with death,
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, it was that type of image that was used. And I know we harp on, but it's only because we enjoy Harry Potter story. But that was the image of death, wasn't it, in the Harry Potter story with the three brothers going across the bridge.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think the reference as well in the same franchise with the Dementors having that kind of look, that cloaked sort of semi-skeletal type look, I think was a kind of reference to that as well.
Yeah. Although the Dementors were supposed to depict depression and the sucking of all the joy out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're gonna put a personification on that, if you're gonna make depression look human, it almost it crosses over, doesn't it? With
yes, it does. Yeah.
With that death look. So
yeah, because it's like that lifelessness, really.
Yeah. And that feeling that you'll never be happy ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite bleak.
Okay, so moving to the Victorian era, and there is a softening there. By the Victorian period,
It's starting to get a bit more sanitized.
Yeah, death was still common, obviously, but the portrayal shifts again. It was influenced by artistic movements and changing attitudes, and death becomes gentler in some depictions, sort of angelic, beautiful and calm. Although that wasn't true of everybody, but that was how society, it was put across. A companion at the bedside rather than a predator in the field.
It became a kind of instead of death being the fear, the concern, it was death coming to take you to the next thing.
Yeah.
So like you said about it changing and becoming more angelic, more calm, but that sort of ferryman, if you like, the one that just goes, well, hey, look, this is just the way it is, and I'm going to take you from this place to another place, and actually a support in that transition, rather than it just being about you actually fear death.
So even the title, The Grim Reaper, gains popularity during this era, although the imagery predates it. Death becomes less mocking and more solemn. So now we're sort of whizzing through to the 20th century judgment and scale.
It's that whole balance of scale, that kind of scale, rather than the massive scale of death.
Yeah. The First World War changes everything. Death is no longer an individual visitor. It becomes vast, millions upon millions, towering over battlefields, gathering thousands at once. An artwork from this era often portrays death as almost disappointed. I think disappointed that he has so many to take. A paternal figure observing humanity's capacity for self-destruction. And boy, oh boy, don't we do it over and over and over again.
Yes, unfortunately, it is just history repeating itself, isn't it? We could go into so much depth on that.
Yeah, and I think it is so much that when you look at the ages of like the average soldier that died, they were young.
They were young, very young.
Very young. And what a waste of lives. That you just don't know what they would have done. We lost the artists, the musicians, the doctors, the creatives, the scientists, the bloke next door who was kind to everyone in the street. That's when it's all just such a waste. And don't even get me going on what happened in the gas chambers and things. That I can think there where it says, my next line says, even death appears overwhelmed. You can just.
Yeah, I think it's when it starts to become, when there's like so many people have died at this point that it's not surprising anymore. It's not shocking anymore. It's not. No. It's normalized. Yeah. Because there's just so many, and I think part of humanity does that because in some kind of response to try and protect itself, you know, where if you had to feel for every single one of them, you would, you know, you just couldn't function. So you have to find a way of normalizing thousands upon thousands of deaths. I mean, it's just tragic.
Millions.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you count everybody, it's millions. And what for? But yeah, I can see even death appears overwhelmed. I think people themselves become overwhelmed. I mean, I know in myself, I can get so overwhelmed with what's happening today, with the different things that are going on, that in the end you have to turn off.
Yes. Yeah.
Turn off and turn to something else nicer, calmer.
I think you just need that escape sometimes, just that escape to listen to something else, to do something else, to hear stories of other things as well.
Yeah.
You know, something a little bit more positive.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
She says, whilst doing a podcast about death.
Which is
great here.
Yeah, we're okay. It's a bit like we said, it's a bit like therapy in the fact that we can talk about it, move on, understand it a little bit more, not be so scared of it, maybe.
I do think it's seeing how death has changed over the years, in different cultures as well. That it's a different thing altogether. People celebrate, you know,
they have celebrations,
anniversaries
of, life now.
Of death. Yeah. It's and you know, they have cultures where they literally take the heads of their grandparents from, like, the skulls from their mantelpiece and parade them down the streets. It's and to me, that's like, that's not what I would expect to be doing on a Wednesday afternoon or whatever it is, but actually quite healthy in a way to have that kind of relationship with death, that it's not so big and scary, that it's literally the next step that you take at some point. Devastating that some people have to take that step and it's not within their power.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. As we just reflect on the fact that one of our podcasters that we'd listened to for a long, long time had a young, beautiful, vibrant woman had her celebration of life yesterday, didn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
And
from what I gather, it was quite an event.
It was.
I did watch
a little bit online. They were live, sort of put it on through YouTube, and from what I could see, there was lots of support for her friends and close family, and there was tears, obviously, but there were lots of laughter and lots of joy and love in the room.
Yeah,
in fact,
I think that's the thing.
Not even in the room. From what I can gather, there were songs coming on the radio at certain times.
I think it was coming at them in waves.
It was
from everybody.
But they were very aware. They said that she was around and she was sending them messages in quite subtle ways that left sort of no doubt of where they were coming from. So, bless them all. I lots of love to all of them. They know who they are.
They do. They will. Absolutely, they will.
Yeah. Okay. Modern death. Relatable, logical, and human. In modern media, death shifts again. In Discworld by Terry Pratchett, death is skeletal but sympathetic, logical, even compassionate in his own way. In Death Like Me,
That's Dead Like Me.
In Dead Like Me, sorry. I can't read.
For those of you that don't know, Dead Like Me is a series. It didn't go on for very long, but it was a brilliant series.
Okay, Grim Reapers are bureaucratic employees.
Actually, very funny. It's
funny.
A very amusing. It can be dark in places, but it's light.
Humor.
It's lighthearted.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because when she becomes a Reaper, she wants to try and save people from this fate. And not only does her boss explain to her that she can't do that, it's not within her power to do that, and it throws everything out of whack if she tries to do that. She does on one occasion, and then she realizes how wrong it goes. And it all gets out of control, and she ends up having to accept the fact that she did that. And it's worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good series. If you haven't seen it, it's you're getting on a bit now, I think. It's, you know, but
is that like messing with the timeline continuum or something?
Not quite.
But sort of.
But sort of, yes.
Because you're actually making something happen that actually is not meant to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was not down to her doing anything. It was down to her not doing something.
So, right, okay.
She was not doing her job. Her job was to take that soul and allow it to go through. And it was interesting because actually in some of they have to go to their lights, right? And there's like the little girl when she moves on, and hers is like this big sort of smoky scene out through the trees, and there's like a Ferris wheel, and you're seeing the lights from all the stuff, you know, of like a really fun place to be, and that's her lights that she goes towards. And yet one other person who goes to their lights, and they're standing on a cliff and their lights are at the bottom because they love base jumping, so they jump into their lights. And it's like, I love it. It's a really good way of, you know, portraying it. So anyway, that's Dead Like Me. It's a series.
Oh, cool. In Meet Joe Black, death takes human form. I don't know that film either.
I have seen it, but I don't know it well.
All right. In The Sandman, death appears as a calm, kind young woman. Increasingly, death looks like us. Attractive. There you go. Looks like us.
Just like us.
Thoughtful and conversational. Stop and have a drink and a cup of tea and a bit of cake. Perhaps giving death a face we can recognise makes the idea less overwhelming. Perhaps we are not softening death. Perhaps we are softening ourselves. Yeah. Across cultures, death has often been female. I don't know this word. Santa Mert.
Sorry, hang on a minute.
Mert?
Santa Merta.
Santa Merta.
Santa Merta.
Yeah.
There's more of a Santa Merta. It's a bit of a in there somewhere, but I'm not sure because I'm...
And I'm just doing it with a good old Cockney accent.
Yeah,
Santa Merta, a skeletal saint venerated by millions. Or there is Kali, both
Kali.
Kali, okay,
Kali.
Thank you, Kali.
As
both
in
mother and destroyer.
I think Kali is referenced in one of the Indiana Jones films.
Oh, right, okay.
Temple of Doom, I think.
There's Morrigan, the war crow. Oh, wow.
Morrigan is a force. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, we need to find out more about these. Now, oh my goodness. Erishikiel?
It's Erishikiel, I think. Yeah.
Erishikiel, Queen of the Underworld. Wow. Women have long symbolized life. It is perhaps unsurprising that they also symbolize its ending. Creation and destruction are rarely far apart.
Yeah, there's also the lion-headed goddess Sekhmet.
Mm-hmm.
Did we say that one?
No, we didn't. No.
There's also that one that's ancient Egyptian.
Right.
According to legend, her bloodlust nearly destroyed the world.
Yikes.
Kali is often likened to Sekhmet, and is seen as both a mother and the most terrible destroyer. Yeah, Morrigan was the deity of war. Her form of Bav, the war crow, foreshadows death to all.
My goodness.
Yeah. And yeah, there was a thing there, the Gaulish goddess, and I'm not sure if I can say her name. It's also, there's two different versions of her name. One is Cathubodua, and the other one is just Bodua, and that she's seen as a similar version, I think, to the Irish Morrigan.
Mm-hmm.
And her name means battle crow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There is. Well, talking of crows and other animals, I know it's a bird. Animal death, because not all deaths, as we know, are human. Across the world, animals have carried the symbolism of mortality. Owls, crows, there you go, there's the crow, hounds, and lions. Creatures that seem to appear at battlefields, at graves, in forests, and in mythology. And sometimes, did you need to say more about that?
I was just going to say that there is the great hound of the underworld. It's Irish, and it's called Cushy. And it is about the size of an ox.
All right.
So we're talking about a big one. And it's moss-like green fur. It could hunt silently and unnoticed. Its 3 barks or howls were deadly to the listener if safety was not achieved by the 3rd bark or howl. So they had to seek refuge. If they couldn't seek refuge by the 3rd bark, then that's it. You were gone.
Well,
I'm wondering if that was where the like the reference of the Grimm, the death omen. But I think it's different when you're talking about something that causes death and something that is an omen of.
Is an omen of, yeah. But something I was listening to last night, and that was about omens of death. And they were talking about dogs in particular. And one of them was called the Grimm, and one of the others was called Padfoot, which was interesting. And those of you who know Harry Potter know that that's the two things are not the same, but sort of
canine-like.
Canine-like, yeah.
So I was just going to say there's another one, because the Maori people found a death god when they found New Zealand.
Oh, right.
On the mountains of the new land lived and I've got to try and get this right because this is a strange word. It's Pouakai.
Wow.
So is that Poke? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's known as the Hast Eagle. It's a great eagle that hunted the mighty moa. Now, if you know anything about the moa, it's a flightless bird that weighs about 250 kilos. So the eagle that hunts something that size is a fair shout. Anyway, it was said to be a monstrous killing bird that killed people too, and thus became the symbol of death.
So sometimes death is not a person at all. Sometimes it is simply nature reclaiming what was always hers. Now, I've got a closing down, but I didn't know if you had any more to sort of add to any of that before I just sort of round up, really.
No, I think you can go for it. Go ferret. Go ferret.
Go ferret. Or go ferret.
Everything else here in my notes you've touched on already, so okay. I think we're good.
That's cool. So, across history, death has been a ferryman, a bureaucrat, a warrior, a mother, a saint, a skeleton, a guide, or something animal-like. It has reflected famine and faith, war and wonder, and fear and acceptance. Perhaps the many faces of death do not tell us what death is. Perhaps they tell us what we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having to put ourselves onto it. Every culture shapes death in its own image. And maybe that is the most human thing of all. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think when you can look at...
It says here, that's all right, if death knocked on your door tonight, we hope it doesn't, but if it did, what would you want them to look like?
I think, and this is actually really interesting because I've recently listened to the book Contact. There is a film that came out with it as well. And the book is very, very similar, but there's more than one person that goes in the ship. Anyway, they go to meet quote unquote aliens. Okay. And each person that goes is met by somebody they recognize, right? Because the other beings felt that it would make more sense to them, that it would be more comfortable for them. And I think that's the kind of thing that I feel like it would have to be somebody that I knew wasn't alive, because if they were alive, I just think they'd come around for a coffee. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and cake.
Cake, of course. There's always cake. I think we talked about that in a previous episode, didn't we? When we ghosts were coming.
A long time ago when we were talking about ghost visitations, a bit like when Santa comes.
That's right.
And we leave him out bits to eat. We said that, did we have to do that for ghosts arriving? Did we have to leave out cake and cookies? And what is it Mort likes? He likes
pastries. It was
pain au chocolat.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where you'd want that being to be like comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to go with something too.
Well, people often say that if you, I've heard a lot from like nurses in hospices who say that so often people who are on their deathbeds will often call out or mention somebody.
They'll mention that they've seen their loved ones or that a loved one is coming to see them soon.
Yeah.
And that's normally when the hospice nurses start ringing the families to say you might want to come over.
Yeah.
And I think that's a. I mean, if that was the case, wouldn't you prefer that?
Absolutely.
You know, to go like, actually, do you know what? I know they're coming. I know they're going to come get me.
Yeah.
And that sounds awesome to me.
Yeah. To get to that stage. I mean, it was a bit like my mum when Nana went, and she'd got Alzheimer's and she had no idea who any of us were. She didn't know who she was, bless her. Not really.
No.
And when she was really poorly, us who was actually saying to her, it's okay, you go, it's all right. And we still say afterwards that we're sure that, like, her relatives, her mum and her dad and my nan and granddad, my grandma and granddad, were there and were like, for crying out loud, woman, will you just come on?
Get your bloody coat, will you?
Just get your coat.
Where are your shoes?
I tell you what, my mum was a typical woman when it comes to saying goodbye. She would always find something else to say or do before she left. So I'm sure that was, and I'm sure by the time she actually went over, I'm sure they were just like, thank God for that. Just get here. You should have been here, what? Half a day ago. You know?
Yeah, last week, but not to worry.
Yeah. Yeah, we were expecting, we had a party and everything sorted out.
Yes, right, everyone's gone home, they're all bored.
Yeah, so, yeah, I can just imagine my family all standing there going, come on, don't do a mother on us. Get yourself over here now.
We're not going to talk at all about the fact that you're just as bad.
Oh, I am. I'm worse, probably. Well, I'm coming out of my friend's house the other day, and Dad always goes out with her.
Yes, because he's sensible.
Half.
He just goes out and sits in the car.
He just goes. Yeah. Well, no, he was standing in the rain. Actually, he was like, "Are you coming?" And just as I'm coming out, I'm going, "Oh, hang on a minute. I'll just show you this on the." Oh, Dad.
Here we go again. Yeah.
Here we go again. So, yeah, I would probably be, let me just show you this on the phone. You know, I saw something the other week. You'd be like, for crying out loud, mother, will you just go?
I know it, because you're just as difficult to get off the phone.
Yeah.
You know, because then you just start up another conversation.
Or off the podcast or anything.
Or off the podcast. Yeah. When we close down at the end, we close for you guys, and then we're stuck for another hour just
talking. We'll have to start having Patreon where they just get to see what we chat about.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've decided we'd like somebody that we know to just come and drag us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, gone. Sort it out.
Yeah. This way, off we trot. But what would you like to see when your time comes? So, other than that, keep your minds open.
And your lamps lit. And we will see you again next time at the Freaking Shack.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for hanging out in the shack with us. If you've got a strange story, theory, or even just a spooky question, send it to shackpackinbox@gmail.com because we'd love to hear from you. Follow us to ensure that you never miss an episode of The Freaking Shack, because listening to us is much cheaper than therapy and slightly more spooky. Until we meet again next week, Shackpackers, take care.